You'll just be able to like pact on their turn and then pay for your pact on your turn, depending on what pact it is.
Yeah.
And then they'll die in their turn. So in the meantime, here we are. We going into a new match. We have Reuben Bresler playing the mono blue control deck, the Chris Cronenberger blue deck, versus Aaron Sweralow Freets.
Sweralow Freet. So Reuben's up a game, but he's on a multi-6.
Yeah. And here's the deck list there, and we should have deck list here shortly. So we know what Reuben is playing. Don't know what Aaron's playing. Do you have any idea?
No idea. I saw his name on a feature match board earlier, so I know that he's been, playing in front of people all day. Don't know what he's on, but they're 1-1.
Find out sooner. Well,
they're X1.
Reuben Bresler is undefeated. However, as is classic of the mono blue control deck, he may have 2 draws. Aaron is X1-1 currently.
Okay.
So Aaron drops Verdant Catacombs. Could mean anything, I suppose. Let's see. I was talking to Reuben not that long ago, and he said that he felt like the deck really needed another win condition. He hasn't been able to close in time today. Of course, he's never played the deck before, which might be an issue. But
yeah, playing a blue control deck in Legacy with no testing and very few win conditions seems kind of risky.
To quote Reuben Bresler, it's just brainstorms and force of wills. How hard could it be? So yeah, exactly.
I mean, Reuben Bresler used to write for Star City games, right?
He used to write for Star City. He used to, now he's really doing a comedy thing, but he's definitely had some success. Okay, so here we go. So it looks like Aaron is playing some kind of it's just black-white deck.
It's black-white. It looks like Joe Bernal's deck.
Yeah.
The black-white Bitter Blossom, Chrome Mox, Stoneforge Mystic, Dark Confidant deck.
Yeah, Dead Guy Ale. He's got some Vampire Nighthawks, which I don't think Joe had.
He has Mirren Crusaders, which Joe definitely had.
Yeah. Otherwise, all the things you would expect. Hymn to Turok, discard spells, Chrome Mox, Bitter Blossom. All the works.
He's got a Sword of Feast and Famine in his sideboard, and it looks like, that'll be a pretty good card against Reuben if he can get it into play.
Yeah, the Feast and Famine is certainly strong here. Of course, the issue against the blue deck is just resolving the spells you want to resolve.
And not getting Shackles.
Yeah, not getting Shackles, because Shackles is a good way to turn off equipment.
Yeah. And Reuben has 3 of those. So I guess part of why he can't really win a whole lot of games in a quick fashion is, he has Shackles and his opponents decide not to play any creatures.
So Aaron Thoughtseized Reuben taking Counterspell, seeing some lands, a Force of Will, and I believe a Brainstorm. Yeah. And decided to take the Counterspell out of that hand. See what else Aaron has to follow it up with. It's really interesting to watch people brainstorm now after watching AJ's
video.
Yeah. You just compare to the examples he gave, like, oh, that's a good brainstorm, that's a bad brainstorm. I don't know about this brainstorm. I wonder what AJ would do here.
Yeah. I just saw so many people land brainstorm go. And
or even the end step brainstorm, which is
I can't decide which one's worse. I think it's definitely land brainstorm go.
So Reuben goes for the end step brainstorm here. I think he might have a fetch land in his hand.
Doesn't matter.
I think so. He shows it on your main phase, right?
Yep. If he wants to cast Vidalcan Shackles, then that's fine. But then what are you brainstorming for?
Right.
You have another land in hand. Wait. Main phase brainstorm go. End step.
He did it in response to the Mirren Crusader, so he was maybe looking for a way to counter it.
That seems awful, though, because you can just let it resolve, take your turn, play Shackles, say go. It's not going to get blown up unless he has Vindicate. And then you just steal his Mirren Crusader next turn.
And still have your Brainstorm available.
And he has Force Will in his hand. I'm pretty sure he had Force Will in his hand before.
Yeah, he did have Force before. Brainstorm was his other blue card at that point. I think he might have found another one. Reuben does cast Vidalcan Shackles.
Yeah. He had plenty of lands. He had Force of Will blue card. And yeah, that is very much an incorrect brainstorm.
And Aaron serves in for 40. I disagree. I agree. I don't really like that brainstorm. Curious to know what Reuben's thoughts were there.
Well, I had an open blue mana and a brainstorm, and I just wanted to peel some cards, man.
As AJ puts it. And so Aaron has to read the Shackles, and first time we read that card, it's kind of a sinking feeling. That card is quite the beating.
We are in for the long haul.
Yeah.
An interesting part of Reuben's deck, though, is that he doesn't really have ways to draw cards aside from Jace. He has Sensei's Divining Top, and he has a bunch of bounce spells and back to basics, but he doesn't have Standstill, and he doesn't have Ancestral Vision.
Right. He just has Jace as the main way to recoup cards.
Right. So a Hymn to Torok is actually pretty incredible against this deck.
Very much so. I mean, I've watched Chris Cronenberger play this deck multiple times, and the way he always seems to play it is counter, 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 and then eventually you play Jace and reload. But if your plan doesn't go according, or if your strategy doesn't go according to plan, and something gets messed up,
or you just draw 2 back to basics ever.
Yeah, that too. So it looks like Aaron cast Stoneforge Mystic, finding Batterskull. Reuben lets it resolve. If do you like forcing that Stoneforge Mystic there, or do you just like stealing it some stuff with Milk and Shackles?
I think that you're just going to... Reuben can just control the board, protect his Shackles with Force of Will, and play a waiting game.
Yeah.
I kind of like stealing Stoneforge Mystic here.
Is that way you've got a blocker for the Mirror and Crusader if he chooses to attack?
Right.
And you can continue to just play the long game.
Right. I mean, you just sit there. You never let him violent his Batterskull. If he ever does hardcast Batterskull, then you just take the Germ.
Alright, and...
So he wants...
In his upkeep, he takes the Crusader.
Crusader can block the Germ, but the problem is Reuben missed a land drop, and so if Aaron just says go, vials in Batterskull, and then equips it to Stoneforge Mystic, then Aaron can't take it.
Did Reuben miss a land drop? He's got a land in his hand.
Yeah, it looks like he missed a land drop. Is Aaron on the play?
Aaron was on the play, correct,
okay.
because
So, yeah.
Reuben got the first game. So Aaron has a Mystic with a Batterskull in his hands. Reuben stole Mirror Crusader with that Vidalcan Shackles. Now, but we could see Aaron put in that Batterskull at any point in time. So you think you're just trying to buy time if you're Reuben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're definitely winning a long game here. And Aaron's just fetching non-basics indiscriminately. He has 3 basic swamps and 1 basic plains, but none of those are in play. So if he gets back to basics here, then it's pretty bad.
Could be brutal.
That's Vindicate, and there's the Force of Will that he correctly held. But he has he decided to remove what?
Something over Echoing Truth. I didn't quite catch what he removed there. But he definitely kept the Echoing Truth. We'll find out here in a second. Spell Snare. Looks like he removed Spell Snare with the Echoing Truth. Or with the Force of Will, rather.
Yeah.
Holding on to Echoing Truth as a way to both return his Shackles in case there's another Vindicate on the way. Gives him a little bit of play. Looks like the other card in his hand is now Misdirection.
Ooh. Well, that'll solve a Vindicate.
That'll solve the Vindicate problem. So
I think the worst thing that could happen right now is Bitter Blossom.
So he's attacking with
Mirror and Crusader.
Mirror and Crusader. So if Aaron puts in Batterskull, what's his plan? Because the attacking for 4 and then having Aaron do 4 again for life isn't profitable. Is Reuben planning to Echoing Truth back the Mystic or the Batterskull or the Germ Token?
I think that my issue with keeping Echoing Truth over Spell Snare is that you can Spell Snare Bitter Blossom, and Echoing Truth doesn't really do a whole lot. You could Echoing Truth the tokens at some point, but I don't really want the game to go in that direction if I'm Reuben.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my big question is why attack with the Crusader if your opponent's just going to vial in the Batterskull? It just seems very unprofitable.
Maybe he wants to close the game out because he still he has 5 lands. I mean, maybe he just doesn't think that he can beat Batterskull going long.
I mean, but if you attack for 4 and then Batterskull hits you for 4 lifelink, like your attack was just pointless. So
right.
Considering the Crusader could just
I
block.
think that's a bad attack as well.
Yeah.
What does Batterskull do? I have been out of the game for a while. I mean, so Reuben used to write for Star City Games,
right,
as more of like a flavor writer, right?
I mean, he had some competitive success, but it was definitely more of like, like casual, like a casual competitive kind of site. Yeah.
I think he wrote one of the best articles on Burn-In Extended that I've ever read. Went through and pointed out all the differences between Lava Spike and Shrapnel Blast and Flames of the Blood Hand, Char, and so on.
So Reuben draws another Shackles this turn.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, this game is looking pretty bad for Aaron.
That's pretty much the exact draw he needed.
Yeah. I mean, then he has Misdirection, Pitching, Echoing Truth, should anything go horribly wrong.
And Reuben, of course, I think he made top 16 or top 32 at GP Chicago with Painter Servant, Grindstone.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The mono red with Imperial Recruiter?
I think so, yeah. He's definitely had some success before.
Yeah. If he draws back to basics here, and Aaron, if Aaron has some major turn, then it'll be even worse. I mean, I still don't really like him taking Mirran Crusader over Stoneforge Mystic, though.
I think right here he can just Shackles the Batterskull, and then
the Germ,
it's the Germ. Sorry, Shackles the Germ, and he's so far ahead then, right? Because he's got Misdirection in his hand. He's gonna pick up the Batterskull. That's fine. The Germ goes away, and then he can untap that Shackle, steal Confidant or Mystic.
I don't think you can steal Confidant. He's on 8.
What could you hit? Nothing.
I would actually untap both. Give him back the Mirran Crusader and steal Stoneforge main phase and just let Aaron pretty much die to his Confidant.
Yeah, I think Reuben is definitely in the mindset of I want to close this game out as fast as possible, but based by the way he's been playing. So he serves with the Crusader, drops Aaron down to 6 life.
Yeah, and very aggressively.
Yeah, for Mono Blue deck, he's playing very aggressively. Could it be because he's just scared of running out of time again like he has in the past. So now he passes back. I thought maybe he would let the Confidant flip to see if that would kill Aaron after the Mirran Crusader attack, considering he's got Misdirection.
And Aaron has options here. I mean, it's not like Aaron doesn't have cards to play.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's still Batterskull. Thoughtseize. So I think Reuben will probably misdirect the Thoughtseize back at Aaron. Or to see what we want to... Yeah, I think that's got to be right. Misdirect Thoughtseize back at Aaron.
Yeah.
Because he's going to pluck your Echoing Truth otherwise, and that's the card that matters.
Right.
I'd rather get rid of one of Aaron's spells.
What's the third card in his hand? It's Echoing Truth, Misdirection, what?
Is it just a land? Or no, he would have played if it was a land.
Yeah.
Oh, he just left it resolve. Oh, yeah, it is just a land.
Scalding turn.
Alright, so he takes the Echoing Truth. And lets Reuben hold on to the Misdirection. But now Aaron's at 4 life from that Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
So the Mirran Crusader is lethal if he just ships back the Confidant, steals the Mystic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised he didn't misdirect that, but either way, Reuben seems like he's in a pretty good position this game. I don't know what else is in Aaron's hand.
It's got to be a white creature, right?
Unless he doesn't realize the Batterskull Germ token is black. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
Alright, so he passes. Reuben untaps.
Think about it. Wow.
Just takes 5 off Force of Will.
Reuben could just die soon.
Uh-oh. Draws his card. But actually that Force was kind of...
Oh, and drew back to basics.
Okay, so to draw back to basics. But now he can just chump block with the Stoneforge Mystic.
Right. And Violent Batterskull.
Right.
Oh god, don't send Confidant. Anything but sending Confidant.
Okay. Does not send Confidant. Alright, so blocks with Stoneforge
block.
Mystic. Putting...
Violin.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he has the removal spell for Confidant, that's just a game stolen that shouldn't be even close. Yeah, back to basics. Keep your things tapped. That's fine. But, like, if he has, like, Land Gatekeeper or he kept in any swords to plowshares...
I mean, he does have Force, so he's good in that regard, but... I mean, that Batterskull is going to serve in. He has to block with Confidant.
Aaron goes back to 8.
Aaron goes back to 8. The game is still pretty far in Reuben's control, especially because of the back to basics, locking down Aaron's entire mana base because of how he fetches lands.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Aaron's line fetching a bunch of colored sources that he doesn't need.
Right. That looks like a top.
Yeah.
Not quite the most exciting card when you're under back to basics.
Yeah, that seems like the worst ever.
I mean, you can maybe try and find some basic lands that way. But.
I also don't like it pre-combat.
Right.
I also don't like not attacking, but, you know.
Isn't that just lethal now?
Yeah, very, very lethal. Attack.
Is it possible we just have the life totals wrong or something? Oh, taps to draw, and that's game. All right, and that's that. Reuben Bresler takes the match.
Yeah, I don't get either of their lines.
Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't attack on that last turn.
Definitely should have attacked with Batterskull. Reuben definitely should have killed him like a couple turns earlier. Reuben definitely should have given the Confidant back.
Right. But in any case, Reuben still ended up winning the game, which is what I guess what was supposed to happen. But
Reuben was supposed to win the game in like 8 different ways, but he almost didn't.
And yet he still did somehow. So Reuben advances to 5-0-2. If he wins 2 more rounds, he'll be in the top 8. We'll see how this turns out. Back in the booth, Gavin Verhey here with Drew Levin.
Hey guys.
We'll see if there's maybe a third match we can get to.
Yeah, no, these are just dropping like flies.
Yeah, we definitely had a round today. We went through 3 separate matches.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, let's try and break that record. Another one, a Hive Mind versus Hive Mind. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,